This happened to me in 2021. Like many people, I had grown tired of the isolation caused by the pandemic. To escape, I decided to take a solo camping trip to a remote part of the Appalachian Mountains. The area I chose was well off the beaten path, a place I had only heard about through obscure hiking forums. It was supposed to be breathtaking, untouched wilderness, deep forests, and an eerie kind of peace. I arrived late in the afternoon, parked my truck at a secluded trailhead, and hiked in for about 2 hours until I found a clearing by a small river. It was perfect. The air was crisp. The only sounds were the rushing water and the occasional rustling of trees in the wind. I set up my tent, built a fire, and cooked myself a small meal before settling in with a book. As night fell, an odd sensation washed over me. It wasn't fear exactly, but something felt off, the kind of feeling you get when someone is watching you, even though no one is there. I brushed it off as paranoia and tried to enjoy the solitude. Around midnight, as I lay in my tent staring at the ceiling, I heard it, a single sharp whistle in the distance. It was far but distinct. It didn't sound like an animal. It sounded human. I sat up, listening carefully. A few minutes passed, then another whistle. This time closer. I grabbed my flashlight and unzipped the tent, scanning the trees. Nothing. The fire was dying, casting eerie shadows on the forest floor. I tried to rationalize it. Maybe another hiker was out there, lost. But what kind of person hikes this deep into the woods at night? Then my phone vibrated. I pulled it out, my breath catching in my throat. An unknown number had sent a text. "You shouldn't be here." My blood ran cold. I turned my phone's flashlight toward the trees, searching for movement, but there was nothing. The night was utterly still. A branch snapped, not far, maybe 20 feet away. I fumbled for my pocket knife, gripping it tightly. Then another text. "Don't run." That was enough. I grabbed my keys and my phone, threw on my boots, and bolted toward my truck, leaving my gear behind. My heart pounded in my ears as I sprinted through the dark forest, my flashlight barely illuminating the path. Then the whistling started again. It was closer, and it was coming from multiple directions. I ran faster, nearly tripping over roots and rocks. My truck was just ahead. I could see the faint reflection of the moonlight on its surface. I yanked the door open, jumped in, and locked the doors. As I jammed the key into the ignition, I dared to look up. Standing at the edge of the trees, just beyond the reach of my headlights, were 3 figures. Tall, motionless, just staring. I peeled out of there, speeding down the dirt road until I hit pavement. Only then did I finally breathe. I don't know who they were or what they wanted. I never went back to get my gear. I never reported it. Some things are better left unexplored, but sometimes late at night I still hear the whistling.